Hey guys, so let me just get a sort of better position over here. So today I'm going to show you how to play fingerstyle bass uh, and playing it funky, playing it rock and metal, which techniques I use and which techniques most bass players use, hopefully to share some insight with how you, not how you should play, because there's no wrongs with playing, but the what does playing the way I play will offer you and why we do it, which is what's important most of all. So first things first comes the position of your hand. Now, most bass players, if they're not bass players especially, um, you will see them starting to play the bass and their motion kind of goes sideways and they play sort of like this. Now, I'm not going to say that this is a mistake because there's, once again, I mean, there's no wrong technique unless it hurts you, of course. But if you want to have a good, clean attack into the bass, you generally are searching for this kind of position. So I have to kind of move myself sideways here. So essentially, you're not doing this, you have to do this. So it's like you put your hand up here and then you descend until your bass. And you can have more straightforward technique. Now, the thumb placement, this is very relative, okay? Some people will descend, like I do sometimes. Sometimes I don't descend. It depends. If I remember, if I don't, I no longer think about my playing. So it's, and I think it's something everyone should work on. But yeah, generally you'll place it either on the side of the pickup or on the left string, you know, and that's how you go. And then if you descend, I mean, you see, like I kind of felt no need of dropping it any further low because I don't know, I just don't think it's necessary at all. If you mute the strings fairly well enough in the left hand, you'll be able to play very clean like that. Now, why is this important? It's because of the attack. So your finger is thicker at the middle, and there's a lesser chance that you will get nail. So if I play this way, there will be more nail into it. And also, like, the area of attack of the finger is different, so it will be sort of, it won't be as consistent. But then again, it's not wrong at all. Don't get me wrong with this. Okay. Now at this moment, I am playing with low attack, so this is for something like rock. And you have, generally for rock techniques, you have like two types of play styles that I've seen. One, which is more like John Maying thing, where he plays with his fingers are almost like, it's almost like they're straight, you know, but they're not perfectly straight. Which you kind of do this. Or a more kind of a Alex Webster style or Brian Beller, where the fingers are like bent. So instead of being like this, you know, they're like this, you know, a little more bent. So you do this. And now the cool thing about it, you've already noticed, is that this allows you to play a whole lot faster. And that's generally what I use this technique for like stuff like, you see, like you want to play really fast stuff, you do that. Now comes the finger motions, okay? Stuff that is important for you to know when you're speeding out there, which is sometimes we have patterns in our fingers. So we might go like 3 2 1 3 2 1 3 2 1 3 2 1, or 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, or 3 2 1 2 3 2 1 2 3 2 1 2 3 2 1 2, or 1 2 3 2 1 2 3 2 1 2 3 2 1 2 3 2. Or sometimes when the parts are really hard, you kind of end up playing, or when you have to string ski, you'll end up playing without thinking, or mixing it like 1 3 1 2 1 3 1 2 1 3 1 2 1 3 1 2. You know, I do that as well, but I just don't really think about it when I'm doing it. Okay, what's important is that you get them down, you practice over them, because you'll need to know them, and because you'll need to do them in order to get good. Now, we've talked about patterns, so now comes action. Now, this is rock technique. Now, if you want to go for a funkier stuff, now this is more about the two fingers working together and your attack, which generally increases. Now, your attack as a bass player is like, let's say you play a note, the higher your attack is, the greater the silence. So if you would play a note in slow motion, there will be a moment where your finger touches the string and provokes silence, and that silence, and that time of silence until you play the note is called the attack, okay? That's what attack is that bit of silence. So if you want to raise your attack, you will push forward. And if you want to decrease your attack, you'll come backwards and literally support. You see, like this part of my hand is literally touching the wood. But then if I want to play with more attack, more funky, I'll go upwards. Okay, so like, and you can play with all the fingers. So you come up here, it's like, and you play with more attack, and including like sometimes even put the hand a little sideways, which is important. Now, a thing I actually forgot to mention, which is also important, is you don't want to do this while you're playing. You want to try and keep your hand as parallel. So if you put your hand like this, you would want it to be as parallel to the bass. So essentially, it would be as much as possible like this and not like this, okay? Now, everyone gets a little angle most times, so do not bother too much about that. Kind of losing battery right now, but I hope I can still record. And essentially, yeah, this is where you get the pocket. I'm just playing like muted strings. And that's why it's important. You want to raise your attack, and you kind of, when you're playing funk, you kind of have your fingers are a little bit more tense, which is also a thing. Now, more things, more techniques for your right hand fingerstyle, apart from slap, which I've made a different video about it. But by the way, you can also slap with your hands like this. You basically put in your finger and you press and pull backwards. And you can do it like that. Or you can do this. You can do this. Which is just a slap, but without all the fancy technique of your hand being like that. So that's another thing. Another thing I do for like rock music, Iron Maiden stuff like that, I do this. Which is essentially, it's like a flamenco thing. Your nails are going like scratching the thing down. And that's yeah, I think those would be all the techniques you sort of need to learn in order to play. I mean, if you're playing like more chord stuff, you'll have your fingers slightly bent. It's more like a classical guitar sort of style of playing, because you kind of need to have that position because your fingers are not resting in the strings. So it's like when you're doing this type of rock playing, like let's say that I'm playing the E string, all my fingers, they will rest. They will sit on the B string. When I'm playing, it plays the E string and it rests on the B string. Okay, and the same if I go up. If I play the A string, it will rest in the E string. Okay, so those things are also important. Let me just check the battery here for a while. Now, I'm not working with fancy cameras or anything like that because I don't think like these sorts of videos need much of a high quality. I mean, this is a bass lesson. This isn't rocket science. You don't need a fancy production to show a guy how to play. I don't honestly even think you need to have a bass amplifier turned on or anything like that. I think what matters is if you getting a good lesson out of the thing. So positioning, okay. There's also, I haven't mentioned this pattern. Some bass players do this, which is essentially you play with your one finger and then you do the 2 and 3 all at once. So this one has to go a little bit bent while this one stays a little more straight. That's the other thing. And there's also another one I almost forgot, which is, I mean, from you can do 1 2 1 2 1 2, and you can do 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 3. You know, okay, and all of those are important because all of those will serve you into different purposes into the music you're playing. Now, for an example of a 1 2 3 2 3 would be per se the Panic Attack song from Dream Theater. I'm going to show you guys, which is basically just an alternation. You're playing the G string and you play the D string. Now, this will be a different tuning. This bass is tuned the standard. Panic Attack, I think, is tuned one full step lower. So, but anyways, what's going on is this: you're playing on the G string once, and then twice on the loose string, the D. Wait, I actually forgot the line. So basically, so you want to keep it, I mean, I haven't played this for ages. So that's it. And then there's the disco technique where you're playing octaves. You know, like the Uprising song. Yeah. This is actually a new one. But yeah, those are just alternating kind of string skipping things, but that you should learn. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Those are my recommendations. Hopefully I've been able to teach you like the basics of the right hand and why you should get them down. Okay, you get different sounds each and out of every single position and attack, so beware of that and be sure to practice with that. Just one thing final, like, so you hear the difference of the attack. Can you see? You see like a much more trainy kind of sound because there's a lot more silence in my playing. So yeah, see you guys. Subscribe.